As we're learning to ask and answer questions in nonfiction text, we're going to spend a little bit of time looking at the two different types of questions and the different type of answers that go with these questions. There are two types of questions. There are thick questions and thin questions. Thick questions are questions that I have to really use my brain and look deep into the text to find out. These are questions where you're going to have to make sure you're understanding what you're reading because the answer is going to be in the reading and you're going to have to go back into it to find those answers. The other type of question is a thin question. These are questions that I can answer by looking at a picture or answer without any text. Maybe this is something that you might know from life experience. Maybe, like it said in the example, the answer's right there for you in the picture. This is something you're not going to have to think really hard to answer. Let's spend a minute sorting and thinking about the different types of questions. I've got some questions here. I'm going to read the question for you, and then I want you to pause the video and think, is that a thick question? Something where I'm going to have to use that text, go back into the story to find the answer? Or is that a thin question, something that I can answer super quickly and I really don't need to go into the text at all? Our first question says, what is a shark's lifespan in the wild? Go ahead, pause the video, and tell me, is this a thick question or a thin question? All right, let's see. What is a shark's lifespan in the wild? That is a thick question. That's definitely something you would want to reference the text for. Our next question, do you think a shark is better than a whale? Pause the video. Is this a thick question or a thin question? All right. Do you think a shark is better than a whale? That's your opinion. That's not something you're going to go into the text to find the answer for, so that would be a thin question. Our next question, is a shark cool? Pause the video. Is this a thick question or a thin question? All right, is a shark cool? That is a thin question. Again, that's your opinion. That's how you feel or what you think. That's not something you need to go into the text to find the answer for. The next question, what makes a shark want to attack? Pause the video. Is this a thin question or a thick question? All right, this is a thick question. There would be reasons in the text to answer the question and tell you what makes a shark attack. The next question, what seas can a shark be found in? Pause the video. Is this a thick question or a thin question? Thank you. This is a thick question. This is something where you would want to go back into the text and find the names of the seas where you can find sharks. Our next part of our sort, the next question, what color is a shark's skin? Is this a thick question where I need to go back and read the text, or is this a thin question? All right, this is a thin question. This goes back to our definition and explanation on the last slide. This is something that could be answered just by looking at a picture of a shark. The next question, how many teeth does a shark have? Pause the video. Is this a thick question or a thin question? All right, this is a thick question. This is something where you would need to go back into the text and get the answer for that question. The next one, have you ever seen a shark? Is this a thick question or a thin question? Pause the video. All righty, that is a thin question. That's not something that can be answered by the text. That's something that only you can answer from your experiences. The next question, what is a shark's diet like? Diet is another word for food. So we're trying to find out what foods a shark might like to eat. Pause the video. Is this a thick question or a thin question? All right, that is a thick question. That's something that you would need to go back into the text to reference and find the answer to. Our last question, where does a shark sleep? Is this a thin question or a thick question? Pause the video. Where does a shark sleep? It is a thick question. That's something that you would need to gain information in the text to help you answer.